Hey, this is John Bollinger with Premier Guitar. Today we're doing a review demo of the new MXR Reverb M-300. I'll tell you all about this very cool pedal after I tell you about how I'm recording it. This is my Gretsch Black Falcon. I don't know the model number, but it's got a block in the middle of it. Other than that, it's all stock, although I do have this thing that helps me string it. I don't know what it's called, but other than that, it's all stock. And I'm plugged directly into the reverb, and the reverb is going into a Fender Supersonic amp. We are miking the Supersonic with a Royer R121 mic, and that's going into an Apache Quartet and into Pro Tools. And this is what it sounds like without the reverb engaged. Just frighteningly dry. I'll try a little dirt later on, and this is what that will sound like. So again, just a frighteningly dry amp, but man, add this magic pedal and it's like magic. This pedal has 6 different verbs on it, and they are all really cool. There's stuff you can read online that'll tell you all the tidbits, but what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go through all 6 of them and you can hear what it sounds like. But before I do that, let me just show you basically what it has. There's decay, which is the amount of time. Tone right here, although in different settings, that will change the parameters of like octave up or octave down. But for the most part, on most settings, it's just tone. The tone of the verb, not the tone of your dry signal. And then over here is the blend. And that's all well and good. But the coolest part is right here, this expression out, which I've got hooked up to this little Dunlop mini expression pedal. And that is the coolest part of it, because as you play, I don't know, I mean, the thing about verb, there's times you want it and there's times you don't want it or you want very little of it. And this you can adjust on the fly, which is huge. I went forever just never using reverb. I don't know why. I guess somebody I admired said they don't use it, so I wanted to be like them. Now I'm like hooked on it, man, and really hooked on this pedal. I love it. And a lot of that has to do with being able to control on the fly. So why don't I just kind of spin through these 6 settings and show you what they do right now. So when we came in, I was on the mod setting, and that is basically a plate with this modding involved. And I was using the expression pedal. The really cool thing about the expression pedal is you can set, okay, like I wanted it kind of to go all the way down to real subtle, but then I wanted to get really where, you know, so what you do is you bring the toe back, set it where you want to start, and I wanted to start kind of like this, kind of seasoned to taste. Like I wanted a little more, mainly the blend way down, and then, okay, so there, and then when I want to push the toe forward, I wanted to set it to something like that, and leaving it a little brighter as we go too. So that's how you set it. Cool, right? So that's the mod. It's basically a plate, a real rich plate with some mod settings. And here's how you change. You push that button and it goes to the other settings. So we're going to start at the beginning, which is just the plain plate. And I've already kind of preset it the same sort of thing, but I'll show you what this sounds like. How dreamy, right? So next we have spring. And spring is a really cool one because it's based after a spring reverb, but it's kind of got, how recordings in the 60s would have this sort of distortion, warm fuzziness with reverb sometimes. And back then, a lot of engineers wanted to get rid of that sound, but now it's like, oh no, we want all that. So let's dial in something here. Cool, so dig this. How dreamy is that, right? By the way, that Goldfinger, I got that from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. There's a live version of them doing that. That's so cool, and it's got that sort of warm, fuzzy verb on it. Okay, next we have epic. An epic is this combination of delay tones with different mods. So tone with the pedal back, expression pedal back, I'm going to set it kind of subtle. And then with the tone pedal down, expression pedal down, I'm going to turn up the juice a little bit and see what we get. So. Put a little dirt on that and see what it sounds like. Cool. When you turn on the dirt, it becomes, like most pedals that you run in front like that, it becomes a little more intense. The delay becomes more than it was, and it kind of got away from me a little bit. But very cool, very cool. I could see if I was running it often, I might run it through the, I like that. I like the way it sounds in front of it. I might try it with an effects loop to make it a little more consistent between the two amp settings. But it's cool like that. I kind of like when guitars go out of control. It's sort of cool to see where they end up. Okay, next we have room. And room's very cool because it reminds me of those old Sun Records recordings of Elvis, with the Scotty Moore thing. Just that great room sound that starts to sort of distort. So a pretty cool thing to have in your bag of tricks. So a few other details before I get to this last sound. You can run stereo out of this using a splitter cable. You can also run two expression pedals, but I don't have the bandwidth in my brain to do that. But apparently you can. You can run a Y cable out of that and put them for different parameters, which would be great. But again, I've got my hands full or feet full just with one. So, so we get to our final, which is a pan or a pad, which is a combination of sub octave and up octaves. And this, the tone then becomes controlling those bits. So here we go. So this, right in the middle, it's both the sub octave and the octave up. So let's see what we get. Okay, I'm gonna make it. This is just kind of guessing. Okay, let's see what that does. Wow, pretty dreamy, right? Amazingly, all this stuff fits on this standard MXR size pedal, which is so cool. Anyway, those are the basics. This is a really great pedal, definitely worth checking out. To read the full written review, go to premierguitar.com. While you're online, make sure you like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is John Bollinger. Till next time.
Don't forget to sign up for PG Perks, your all-access pass to exclusive gear giveaways and discounts on premierguitar.com.